All right, welcome back. We've talked a ton about how to write great prompts, but what if we could flip the script entirely and start architecting them? Today, we're diving into what I think is the single most powerful meta skill out there for any serious prompt engineer. We're going to get the AI to do the hardest part of the work for you. This is where we stop just giving instructions and start designing actual systems. And honestly, this is where it gets really, really cool.
Okay, so you've put in the work. You've mastered the four pillars of prompt architecture. The role, the instruction, the input, and that all-important output specifier. And you know from our last discussions that few-shot prompting, where we give the AI a couple of solid examples of what we want, that's our secret weapon for getting precise, reliable results. That foundation is absolutely crucial, and it's exactly what we're going to build on today to create something way more powerful. But let's be real for a second. What is the biggest grind in that whole few-shot process? It's writing those examples, right? It's that slog of trying to think up good ones, making sure they're diverse enough, covering all the angles, and getting that output format just perfect every single time. It's manual, it's slow, and it just drains your creativity. That is the bottleneck. It's the last wall standing between a great idea and a truly scalable automated workflow. So in this explainer, we're going to tear that wall down. We'll start by defining that bottleneck, that problem. Then I'll introduce you to the solution, a concept I call the example factory. We'll walk through the exact meta blueprint you need to build it. We'll see the factory in action with a real-world demo. And finally, we'll talk about why this skill is, no joke, an automation superpower.
Okay, first up, let's really dig into this pain point. See, anyone who's tried to build a serious, production-ready AI workflow, you've hit this wall. It's that moment where your brilliant idea for an automation just gets totally bogged down in the weeds, in the tedious details of creating examples. It's where all that great momentum just dies.
In this frustration, it really breaks down into a few problems that just feed on each other. First, the obvious one. It's just slow. It's a huge time sink. But it's more than that. It's really tough, creatively speaking. I mean, how can you, as one person, possibly think of every single scenario your system is going to face? How do you dream up all those weird, tricky edge cases that you know are going to pop up and break things? And maybe the most dangerous part, our own biases, our own little quirks and how we write and think. They sneak into the examples. We can accidentally teach the AI a pattern that's way too narrow, which means it fails the second it sees something that doesn't look exactly like our style. The end result? Inconsistent, unreliable outputs, and a system that's just fragile.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's get to the solution. And I want to be clear, this isn't just some little trick or a minor shortcut. This is a fundamental change in how you work with AI. This is the example factory. Now, the fancy academic term for this is self-generated in-context learning, or SGICL. But you know what? The idea is way simpler and more powerful than that name. Just think of it as a meta skill. You're not just prompting the AI to do a task anymore. Nope. You're using a prompt to tell the AI how to build the training materials for the final task. The AI spits out a bunch of high-quality examples, and your job is just to pick the best ones. In this model, the AI stops being just a tool you order around and becomes your co-developer, a partner in building the perfect prompt.
And this comparison, this really gets to the heart of it. The old way on the left, you're in the trenches, manually writing every single example. It's slow, and you're totally limited by your own perspective. You are a task performer. But the example factory model, it's totally different. You direct the AI to build the examples for you. It's fast, it's automated, and it taps into the AI's massive knowledge of scenarios and edge cases that you'd never even think of. The bottom line is this. You stop being a task performer and you become a prompt architect. So how do we actually build this factory? Well, the secret isn't in some complicated code or some fancy tool. It's just a prompt. But not just any prompt. We need to create a generation prompt. Think of it as a meta blueprint, the architectural plan for your entire example generation machine. Getting this blueprint right is the key to the whole thing. Now, this meta blueprint has 4 key parts. And yeah, they should look pretty familiar. They're basically our 4 pillars. Just apply it at a higher level. First, we'll define the transformation the examples need to teach. Second, we're going to demand diversity and those critical edge cases. Third, we'll specify a rock-solid explicit format. And finally, we step in as the architect to curate and validate the final product. Let's break each of these down. Step 1 is all about crystal clarity. You have to tell the AI exactly what before and after state these examples need to show. Don't be vague. Be an engineer. Specify the input type. Is it a messy chat log, a doctor's note, a legal document? Then define the output with that same precision. Is it a structured JSON object with specific keys? Is it a single category label? You're basically using Pillar 1 and Pillar 2, the instruction and context, but for this higher level job of making the examples themselves. Okay, this step is where you unleash the AI's real power. Don't just ask for some examples. You have to explicitly demand diversity. Tell the AI to give you a full spectrum of scenarios. Tell it, include a simple, straightforward happy path case so it learns the basics. Then demand a complex, multi-part case. And this is so important. You have to explicitly ask for edge cases. Literally tell it, generate an example with missing data, or create one where the user's intent is ambiguous. Forcing the AI to create these tough examples is what makes your final prompt so incredibly robust and ready for the real world.
Step 3 is the absolute linchpin. This is what connects this whole technique to real-world automation. This is your Pillar 4, the output specifier at the meta level, and it is non-negotiable. You must demand a perfectly consistent, machine-readable format for the examples themselves. Use strict delimiters like a pipe character, or define the exact JSON structure you want. Why? Because the format of the examples the AI creates is the format it's going to learn to copy. By being a stickler for structure here, you guarantee that the final prompt teaches the AI to produce outputs that can go straight into a database, an API, or a spreadsheet with zero cleanup.
And finally, the essential human touch. The factory has made the parts. Now your job is to be the quality inspector. And let me be clear, this is not a creation task. It's a high-speed, high-value curation task. You're not writing, you're choosing. You quickly scan what the AI gave you. Delete anything that's repetitive, weird, or just plain wrong. Then, from that good stuff that's left, you pick the best 1, 2, or 3 examples that give you the biggest bang for your buck. The combo that provides the most clarity and covers the most important bases. Look at this. The difference here is everything. A vague, lazy prompt on the left gets you vague, useless examples, but a precise meta blueprint, like on the right, that's an engineering spec. Let's break it down. Generate 3 controls the amount. Diverse and include 1 edge case is our demand for variety. Classifying support emails into technical billing general defines the transformation. And format as email text : category label is our non-negotiable format. The quality of the examples you get back from these 2 prompts isn't just a little better, it's night and day. All right, theory's great, but seeing this actually work is what makes it all click. So we're going to run a live demo using the exact meta blueprint we just designed. We're going to tackle a super common, super practical data extraction problem that messes up a lot of workflows.
So here's our task. Take informal, messy sentences where people talk about a date range and pull out the precise start and end dates in a clean, standard ISO format. This is a classic automation headache because humans are wonderfully messy and imprecise when we talk.
And this is the exact meta blueprint prompt we're giving the AI. Notice how it's got all 4 of our components baked right in. We defined the transformation, informal sentence to ISO dates. We demanded diversity with realistic different sentences. And we specified that explicit format using the pipe delimiters and clear labels. This is our instruction to the factory. Now, let's see what it makes. And boom! Just like that, in seconds, we get 3 perfect, high-quality, and incredibly diverse examples. I mean, look at these. They're brilliant. The first one teaches the model to handle relative terms like next Monday. The second one is a critical edge case that crosses over 2 different years. That's where simple systems always break. And the third teaches the model to understand business slang like end of Q4. Seriously, think how long it would take you to come up with such a useful set of examples. The AI did it instantly, and the format is perfect.
And here it is, the beautiful payoff. We take those AI-generated examples, we curate them for this task, these first 2 are perfect, and we just copy-paste them into our final few-shot prompt. We just built an incredibly robust pattern-matching prompt that's ready to be plugged into any automation pipeline you want. And the best part? We didn't have to write a single one of those tedious examples ourselves. So I hope it's crystal clear by now that this is so much more than just a neat trick. Mastering the Exempli Factory is a genuine professional superpower. It fundamentally changes the speed, the quality, and the scale at which you can build reliable AI automations. Let's just quickly recap why this is so valuable.
The benefits are just huge. First, speed. You're collapsing hours of work into seconds. But just as important is the guaranteed format fidelity. You are designing the system so the output is machine-readable from the start. The accuracy is often better than with human examples because you're using the model's own internal logic. And finally, scalability. This is the real game changer. Imagine you have to extract data from specialized legal documents you don't understand. You don't have to become an expert. You just direct the factory to build the expert examples for you.
This is the key takeaway. This is the big mental shift. You are no longer in the business of writing examples. That is low-leverage manual work. You are now in the business of directing the AI to build your specialized, format-perfect training data on demand. You've gone from being a laborer to being an architect.
So there it is, the complete blueprint for building your own example factory. You have the 4 components of the metaprompt, you've seen it work, and you understand the massive strategic advantage it gives you. You've made the shift from writer to architect, so the only question left is, what tedious, time-consuming process are you going to point your new factory at and automate first?